Hey, what's up? What's up, family? What's happening? What's happening? Live at 5. Live at 5 on YouTube and live at 5 on Facebook. Probably should have been on Instagram, but it's a lot simpler and easier for me to just go ahead and work off of your Facebook. So, today's topic Super Bowl halftime. And you should have known somebody was going to start up on that, right? All I could say is this Super Bowl halftime. Now, I want to start this thing off today real smooth and easy, laid back. And I want you guys, I hope that everybody, well, I know everybody didn't win on the game. So I hope your team won. Whoever your team was, you know, I hope you're proud of your team. Put it that way, because one team, one lost, one won. So, whichever one you had, I hope you're proud of them regardless. If they won or lost, I hope you're very proud of your football team. I'm not a big football fan, y'all. So, but I did watch like second, third, and fourth quarter. I think I got busy at the end of the fourth quarter. So it turned out to be what it is. Hope nobody is sore. Only people that are sore right now are the people who didn't like the halftime show. You know what I mean? So let me start it off with Happy Valentine's Day to everybody on YouTube. Hey, Happy Valentine's Day, and Happy Valentine's Day to everybody on Facebook. I've already kind of put a early Happy Valentine's Day uh, thing out there on Facebook already. So to my family, Happy Valentine's Day to each and every one of you. Now, today. Well, to a lot of people, today is the day after the Super Bowl. And there's a lot of people who are pretty heavy into the Super Bowl. They love football all season, And I saw the game. I know football, but I'm not no big fan of football. Why? I don't know. I guess because a lot of people pretty much jump on the bandwagon and jump off. And then you got the very hardcore football fans that just go all out, and they just ridiculous, really. I don't want to, I like football. I mean, to play it, I wouldn't mind playing the game. You know what I mean? To watch the game is exciting as well because there's a lot that goes on with those big guys out there. And being that I know somewhat about the game, I do understand the concept of the entire game, but I'm not a fan of it. You know what I mean? But I'll watch it. So it's not like I'm totally against any other sport than my major boxing or MMA. I'm not. I'm always subject to any good sport, any good competition going on. And like I was started to say that the only ones that I can see or that I can imagine that is upset about the game or the halftime show, because it seemed like the halftime show was nothing but Afro-American people, black and brown people, doing a very fabulous show. And when I tell you fabulous, man, it looked like they put some serious work into it. It's amazing how they're able to set that whole system up on that field at halftime and break it all down before the next part of the game begins. That's a lot of work, and it's some fast work, but it was nice to see, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, and even 50 Cent was in there. It was nice to see those artists on the same stage, and I think they all did their very best part that particular show, and that show was good. And they brought up a lot of some of their old tunes and all, and people, the whole stadium was rocking. Now, I guess they got a system set up for the COVID situation because that place seemed to be packed. From as far as I could see, it was pretty packed, you know. And I'm pretty sure that they had people prior to it. They had to show their vaccination cards and all this, that, and the other, and they worked it out, man, and it wound up fabulous. The game was good. You can tell it was a really good game because they were running pretty close at one point, and then of course errors happened, and the team who won because of the errors of the other team. And that's sports. You know what I mean? So the halftime show was refreshing for me, to see black and brown people actually able to hold it together. I mean, you got all these, there was millionaires up there performing together with big egos. And when I tell you, they all got their own individual egos, and it all started except for Mary J. Blige. I'm not saying Mary J. Blige, I think, was founded or was helped a lot by P. Diddy. Now, but as far as the other guys, Eminem, 50 Cent, Snoop Dogg, that's all under Dre. He launched their career, basically, I believe. And if I'm wrong, somebody tell me. But I don't think I'm wrong. Right? But except for, like I said, except for Mary J. Blige. So it was very interesting to see them put the show on. It was very interesting to see in the back when they was actually performing that the crowd was going crazy. They almost all knew almost every one of the songs. If they didn't know Dre's song, they knew Snoop's song. If they didn't know Snoop's song, they knew 50 Cent's song and Mary J's song. And ultimately, of course, Eminem. And out of all those particular artists being up there, it brought in those different fans that were following each and every different artist. So that brought them all together, and they always being able to rock together. I think that was nice, man. I liked it. I mean, me, I take it or leave it with football or any other sports. Now, you throw up some boxing, I'm going to be like front and center, with my popcorn popping and, don't get in front of the TV. That's me, man. So I really I enjoyed the game last night. I even had a chance to teach my mother a little something about the game last night. You know what I mean? She couldn't decipher which way they running. Why are they, she thought that, I think the lines on the ground had numbers to them. So when they got to the line, she figured that's the number that they got, like the score or something. So we had to kind of straighten her out a little bit. Me and my daughter likes football as well. So we three was watching the Super Bowl last night. You know what I mean? It was pretty cool, man. Like I said, I'm not a big football fan, but I just think that those black people, those black and brown people, and the lovers of black and brown people put it together pretty well. That was excellent. I liked it. Now, like I started to say, the people who wouldn't like it, okay, those are your Karens of the world. I heard now that they got another word for ghetto black girls, Laquitas or something, right? So now they don't come up with something that when a black person is cutting up, they call them a Laquita or something like that. I don't know exactly what the name they're trying to pick, but but only one that wouldn't like that daggone halftime is a bunch of Karens who just hating on the fact that even the commercials, for that matter, I've seen more black faces in the commercials as well. I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. Now, you really got to ask yourself, are we looking at a change? Are we inside of a change right now? Are we experiencing in our lifetime the change in America that our ancestors fought for? Because it must be something to that, because apparently if we can get on social media like I'm doing right now with this very small platform that we were never given before, then obviously what our ancestors fought for is coming to fruition. Now, it may not be coming as fast and as direct as a lot of people would like it to be, but it is different from how it used to be back in the day. And when I hear people saying things of, you know, let's make America like it used to be, I can only think of racist people wanting to do that. I can't think of any black persons who really want to do that. But then there are a bunch of black people who are saying the same thing because, see, they're brainwashed. Now, I can't help it but go into political thought thought patterns, because we live in this era right now. We're continuously fighting for equal rights. We're always trying to get equal rights, even when it comes up to playing a freaking game. We basically dominate football. Football. Now, most of the sports, most of those contact sports, we do very good at. Now, why is that? You know? Well, maybe because that's one of the things that we had freedom in more than anything else. That's something they really couldn't stop us from doing, because we would gather our own uh, teams or sport together and play them. And when we play against each other, we play hard. When I tell you play hard, there's a lot of compassion involved. I mean, emotions, man. I mean, we take it to heart as far as being great or good at a particular sport. And that is the reason why you see a lot of black and brown players in any sport. They have this certain finesse with them. And it's a certain type of finesse that you have to be able to be great in order to make it happen and still score or still look good or still be able to make the other opponent miss, or be dominant in that particular sport. Because we were forced way back in the days to be physical. And it's like they bred that in our genes. That's something we had to do. Even when you think about natural back in Africa, we had to be superior athletes to even survive amongst the beasts in the world. So we had to devise a way to survive. That's in our genes, in our genotes. And now things have changed to a better position for us. Almost knocked everything over, y'all. Me and my big feet. Not you guys, but almost knocked off my Facebook family. But look, this is how we are. This is another thing I want to talk about on Valentine's Day. We have a very loving heart. Now, when you see a bunch of bad apples, right? The bad apples were created by the environment in which we were forced to live. That's the reason why a lot of us are taking on a ruthless mentality. They're not caring pretty much about anybody but self. Because in the wild, if you think about it, only the strong will survive. Now, just think about it, man. I used to see these documentaries about these birds. I don't think there's eagles, but there's another set of birds that when they hatch or when their mother lay the eggs, there's only about 2 or 3 of them in there. No more than about 3, maybe even 4. But then when they hatch, it's always the stronger little chicklet will try to knock out the weaker one, so he can have a chance to survive. That's a natural instinct amongst these daggone birds. Ain't nobody taught no bird to do that. The bird naturally does that. So it can have a better chance, a 100% chance of survival. And that is seem like what people do. People have a tendency of looking at a weaker individual and try to pounce on that person or take advantage of that individual, And Even when we were back in the slavery time, we competed amongst ourselves as well. You know, we were forced to in a lot of ways, but then in a lot of ways, we're just naturally competitive to survive. The stronger will survive. And that's just the bottom line. And that's what we see today, just in a whole upgraded version of us being that way. So it's in every one of us. It doesn't matter what color we are. We have a competitive nature about us. Even when it comes to love, man. When it comes to love, here it is, Valentine's Day. And there are some people out there who are literally battling to be the number one person in somebody's life. The men will fight each other to get the female of their choice. They will do anything they possibly can. And then sometime when they get them, now this is the twisted and not so fortunate part about this love thing or this relationship thing, is that nowadays the younger generation, when they get these women, they mistreat them. But now when you get a person who's been raised in a way to love, that didn't lose that loving nature about them, they love hard, male and female. They love hard. And this is what you look for. But you don't want somebody to be a nut about it, a crazy peanut about love. Because there's some people who got it all twisted, and they believe that when they get involved with somebody that they own that person. That is a no-no. You don't own nobody. You own you, yourself, and that's it. You don't own no other person. But the female will give herself to the male within reason, right? Because ain't no female nutty enough, I don't think, but I think there are though. They're nutty enough to say, do what you will with me. I love you so much, right? Who does that? And if you do that, you better stop, because that's opening the door for some not so good things to happen, right? Now you got to think about yourself as well when you are in love with somebody, But I would say this on a more high positive note about this whole Valentine's Day thing, right? If you have that special person in your life, right? Treat them right, love them, surprise them sometime if you could. I would say I'm a lover and a fighter type guy, right? I have that nature about me. I'll flip flop back and forth. But when I am in a relationship and I'm secure with it and I'm confident and I feel like, I can trust the person, I don't have to worry about where this person is. The person will let me know without a doubt of what's going on at all times. Once I have those things in place, and not just that, be my ride or die, like I will be yours type thing. And if you have that in your life, right, I would say treasure that. I'm the guy to be able to tell you, the man who has lost love numerous times, but I am the perfect individual to explain that to anybody and say, you know what? Hang on to it. It's going to be rocky roads and rough times and not so pleasant and smiley moments. It's going to be all that. But hang on still, regardless. Right? Now, that's when you're sure. That's when you're 100. When you know for a fact, this is that one. And if you've been in a relationship for a very long period of time, you guys should already know. So it should be no doubt about it at that point. You know where your heart is. And it shows in your actions. But see, there's the twisted mentality these days that a lot of people believe in lip service to get what they want for the moment, and then flip the script. And now the other person is like, what happened? I don't understand. Now, you got to look at yourself in the mirror and say, have you been that way? Have you been that way? Have you? I can be the first to admit I have. Yeah, I probably lost out on a whole lot of good deals in my time when it came to relationships. Maybe I have. Then who is to say? But I will tell you this: once I know for a fact who that person is and should be for the rest of my time, then I would treat that person like the queen that she's supposed to be treated as, regardless. You know. So here's the deal: Valentine's Day is a special time. Now, a lot of people say, just like with any other holiday or special day, they say it shouldn't just be one day of the year, right? Isn't that what people say all the time? They say that about Black History Month. And I 100% believe that that's the way it should be. More than just one day in a year. If you love somebody, then you should constantly show that love. Make sure that the love that what you show is actually being highly respected and accepted and given back to you as well. You know, because we love people because of the, the the kind heart that they are to you. They may not be like that with everybody else. You know, so sometimes you wonder, how can an old evil grouch like Daryl have anybody love him? But there is somebody, believe it or not. You know, and you can look at anybody that you may not like, that you really just, oh my goodness, I can't stand that individual, but somebody loved that person. You know, why? That's just the way life is. No matter who we look at, we may look at a person in disgust, have a nose all turned up, like, boy, I ain't never in my life messed with somebody like that. Look at him. Not me. But somebody loved that person. Somebody somewhere. Isn't that amazing? That's beautiful, man. That is a beautiful thing. So, happy Valentine's Day to everybody. You know, no matter who you are, no matter what you've been through, no matter what people have classified you as. Happy Valentine's Day to you. To the grouch out there, you all know some grouches, man. I may not be the grouchiest grouch in the world, but y'all know some grouchies that's more grouchy than me. Them people. Happy Valentine's Day to you too. All the haters of the world just hate people because they don't look like them. When they look in the mirror, they look at a whole different individual. Like, you know, like, why are you here? You shouldn't be here. This is our country. You shouldn't be here. It's not your country. It's our country. You did? And to those people, happy Valentine's Day to you too. All them racist, hardcore guys, you know, running around shining their guns all day long and shooting at stuff. They just hate Black folks. Just hate them to the core. For what reason, if you ask them, they really can't get. They'll give you what the basic haterism of society will say. It's almost like a script. It's a very old script, but they hang on to it from one ancestor to the next. It was handed down. The old script on why they hate Blacks was handed down from one generation to this is what you say when you come across them little nigglets. This is what you tell them. You know, you hate them because of this, that, and the other, and that, and the this, right? So they in turn take it, and they take it to another level. And then when you stop them and ask them, well, why do you hate Black and brown people? Now they got to remember what their ancestors told them or their grandpa done said to them. Well, I hate them, and it's almost verbatim what was told to them on the reason on what you should say. It's a script. It's a script to be said. And to all of y'all haters, happy Valentine's Day to you too. To the ones who thought that they were going to teach their little kids to hate black folk. I seen a picture. I think it was on Facebook too. I seen a picture of way back in the day where there was a black mammy, heavy set black woman with her breasts out, breastfeeding a white baby. And the caption said, and the parents of this white child would teach them to hate black people. You were being nourished. You was nourished by a black woman, an African woman. And you're going to teach that child to hate that person who gave you life or assisted in giving you life. That doesn't always work out for them. Because the little kids, when they realize, my daddy was wrong. Black people nice. They okay. They ain't no different than the rest of us. They love me like I love. They real loving. So you let it be. You don't try to damper that in a young person growing up. No matter what type of household they come from. Now, on the flip side, we have to do the same thing in our black homes. But understand something too. You have to teach them to be proud. And once you teach a child to grow up and be a proud black person, then they can, once they start learning to love themselves, they can love everybody else. They can love the world for that matter, but still stay grounded of who you are and why you are. Why did it come to another story I come across? Good gracious almighty. I said it's a Valentine's Day, man. I'm not going to share that particular story. All right. Not going to do that, y'all. But I'm going to talk about it. You know, I just ain't going to talk about it today. I might dig it up tomorrow. Right? But today, it's about love. February the 14th. Love people. Tell somebody you love them today. Somebody you haven't even talked to in a long time. Just say, Happy Valentine's Day. You know what I mean? Now that story about the mammy and the little kid being breastfed and everything, that's that nature of us. That was a perfect example of the nurturing nature that we have. We don't look at little kids and hate them because of their parents. We don't hate them because they were born from another group. We'll take them in, man. Look at Eminem. We took him in as well. And he's doing great for himself. Very great. You know? Of course, if we were some hateful people, he wouldn't be at the status that he's at. Because it's I want people to know that we have that both sides. We have that two-side thing. We're warriors by nature. We're warriors by nature, but we're also lovers by nature. Wow, right? Just like a lion. A lion is a ferocious beast. The king of the freaking jungle, they call him. But that lion will fight for his pride, give his life for his pride. That's the animal world, of course. You know, we can't have that. You know? But yes, he's a lover, nurturer, protector, and he's a fighter. Now we all of us natural born men, be that 100%. Be the lovers of your people and be fighters against your enemies who are trying to destroy your being. Stand up. Love those who love you. And sometimes you got to love those who don't love you. That's why I'm here now doing what I'm doing. I'm saying happy Valentine's Day to my lovers and my haters, to everybody. That shows my compassion. That's my natural, that's the thing that's built within me. And I let that be known without a doubt. Let it be known. Some people will call it something totally different just to flip the script and just to have people just be like, you know what, he ain't no good. But if you listen, what I'm pushing to my people, my brothers and sisters, is about self-respect, self-love, self-protection. Love those who love you, no matter what shade they come in. It doesn't matter. If they love you, you'll know it. You'll know if they love you or not, right? Then you show them love, right? That's the stuff I talk about. That's it right there. And of course, stay grounded in God. Stay grounded. That's the only way you can be a successful warrior. Somebody who's going to be grounded no matter what has been thrown at them. They just simply have to be grounded. Believe in love. Now, who's the author of love? Can y'all look up and say the Lord in heaven is the author of love? I can do that. I can say that confidently. Lord Father in heaven, who gave his son for us ratchet people down here. His only son for us ratchet people down here. Right? He did that. Can we do that? I don't want, man, me to give my only son, you see how imperfect I am? I can't do it. Not me. I know that. I'll do anything else. Not my kids. Maybe even myself in replace of them. That's the love. That's the love we all should have for each other. Be your brothers and sisters' keeper. 24/7. Y'all like my squeaky chair? Yeah, I gotta oil that thing. You know what I'm saying? Be your brothers and sisters' keeper. Love them enough to say, you know what, I'm gonna pull for you. So long as you're doing the right thing. You cannot pull for somebody who has self-hatred. It is too hard to do. Pulling for somebody who don't love themselves. And they show that by their actions. Today is supposed to be about love. Actually, every day is supposed to be about love. Just like every day is supposed to be Black History Month. Or Black History Day. For us, anyway. For those who want to put it on the shelf all year round and then pull it back out just in February, that's your prerogative. That's exactly what the system has actually been brainwashing us to do. Just be proud of being Black in February, you all. And we're not going to have you go a whole 31 days with it. We're going to give you just 20-something days. That's all you get. The shortest month of the dang year. We could have gave you one of the longest one, but we didn't want to tolerate all that for more than just 20-something days. So they've been drilling that in us ever since I've been a little tyke. And since I've matured, and my eyes have been opened about a lot of things, the wool have been pulled back. And I'm like, wait a minute. Hold up. That ain't right. No, that ain't right either. You know what I'm saying? So when you see this, you see how some laws in the system is purposely trying to break down the Black society in America. Why do you think they don't have a problem with a bunch of gay people? I know a lot of people gonna have like, hey, Daryl, don't you talk about them now. Don't do that. Hey, listen, I'm not bashing anybody. But why do you think society don't have a problem with that? Because they're trying to have less men act like men. Less black and brown men to act like they don't want you to act like a man and be the head of your home. So of course they promote this. It's okay. Do it. Do you is fine. I'm not saying that it ain't fine, but I'm saying that understand why you're being pushed in that direction by so many in this so-called society of ours. It's being promoted by a lot of people who simply do not like us, don't like us, ain't got too much love for us. So of course they're gonna come with a smile and some money. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Go ahead. It's okay. Oh, you're such a sweet person. So nice you are. Go ahead. You can love anybody you want. It's okay. There's nothing saying that you can't. That is the difference. A lot of people are afraid to talk about it. And to be honest with you, they want you to be afraid to bring this stuff up. Now, for example, Whoopi Goldberg had said something about the Holocaust. She gave her personal opinion as a black woman about it. It inflamed a lot of people. Now, there's a lot of things that Whoopi Goldberg has said that a lot of America did not like. But was it for real? Was it real info? Was she lying? No, she was not lying. This is something that had happened. I'm not just talking about what she just got in hot water about. I'm not just talking about that. I'm talking about there's other topics that came up before that. But see, she had to understand and stay in her lane of she don't own nothing. Meaning she don't own that network. She cannot force the direction of that network. She can only do what she has been paid to do. And she cannot, of course, they tell her, be yourself, but there's a limit to that as well. And as you can see, she was being herself and she's been reprimanded for it. Right? Now, y'all can say what you want about Whoopi Goldberg. You know, man? I don't care who she married, but whoever she married apparently is a lover of black and brown people. That goes the same for all the other leaders that we may have that, like, who else? Shoot, what's her name? All right, our vice president, Kamala. She's married to a white guy, right? Obviously, he loves her and she loves him. They've been married for a good while. So we can't look at that in any other way. That is love. That's what love is. You know? Don Lemon. He's married to a white guy. That's love. You know? Now, that's between them and God. Regardless on how I feel or how anybody else feel out there, that ain't for us to really be like, hey, but we know how we feel personally about certain things. That's fine and dandy. He's a good man. He's a smart individual. And whoever he's married to, love him. That's that unconditional love, boy. That's the most unconditional love that can ever be. Oh boy, I tell you that. You know what I mean? But that's beautiful in itself. You know? Now, everyone else who is into an interracial relationship, right? If there is that love there, and there's that strong bond, there's no way in the world that anybody can tell you that it ain't right. You know, I have my own personal opinion about it. That's just me. You know, I have my own preferences. That's just me. But that don't mean I can't love outside of my own, which I do. Now, have I been given the opportunity? And somewhat, not really. You know, maybe because I'm too black, not like black skinned, which I am dark skinned, but I think my mind is too black. You know, and I speak up against a lot of stuff that maybe will rub some people the wrong way. That's fine too. But guess what? Overall, the whole picture of what I'm talking about is love. Believe it or not. You don't have to like everything that goes down in this world. We black and brown people and the lovers of black and brown people should know that first and foremost. Because there's been a whole lot of stuff that's been coming down the pipe that we just did not like. We hated to the core, but we had to deal with it. And we dealt with it. And we're still dealing with it. That goes from the church to the personal homes in which we live in, the same scenario, to politics, to schooling, to work environment, to sports, all the bull crap that comes down the pipe, we deal with it. That's our adaptability. That's what we do. You can take us and put us in any environment. We will survive in that environment and adapt to it. That's what human beings do. That's it, bottom line. And it goes the same with crossing the lines of color. It can be done. Any human being can simply love any human being because we are brothers and sisters as human beings. We're all brothers and sisters as human beings. And we should show that love constantly, not just one time of the year. Not one time of the year. We should constantly, throughout the year, show our love for each other, for our brothers and sisters, our human brothers and sisters, constantly, not just on Valentine's Day. That goes the same for black and brown people. Y'all should show your love for your people constantly, not just one time a year, not just in a February of a year. It should be every day. Every day. Say something every day about us, about the positive of us. Or if you're going to talk about the negative, leave us with a positive at the tail end of it. Now, we all can share with each other the negative all day. So what are we putting on the table to fix it or to make it a bit better? Or just trying to plant seed to the younger generation who's watching this coming up? What are we putting on the table as a solution in a sense? And the only thing I can think of is always talk positive all year round. And then when Black History Month does come, the so-called quote unquote Black History Month comes, to us who've been talking Black History Day every day, it'll be like, oh, that's right. They had a month for us in February. Right. But our lifestyle is a Black history. Our lifestyle is Black history. We should always be teaching Black history 24/7. Every day of the year. That's what we do. They're trying to erase things out of the history books, taking them out of schools and libraries, but they can't take it out of here. They can't do it. Not out of us. Just like that movie, what is it, Eli? with Denzel Washington, and he had that Bible throughout that whole movie. He was protecting that Bible, right? The only Bible they can find after this so-called devastation. He clung on to them words in that Bible. A lot of people say he was blind in that movie. I watched it last night, actually. And if he was blind, he was the most seeing blind man I ever seen because he saw everything. But they said he was blind. And the concept of that movie was deep. You can destroy the book. Destroy the books. But the knowledge inside the men, the man, the people, you can't destroy that because that would be forever handed down to the next generation. So long as we are constantly, day in and day out, showing we are Black history. We come from ancestors that built this place. So I want to give thanks to all of our ancestors, every single one of them, who died for us. I give thanks to them 24/7. Because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be sitting in the spot that we're sitting right now to have the freedom that we have to speak out loud and protest and do all these things and even become millionaires. We wouldn't have those rights. We'll still be in chains, probably. Locked up behind some big old fence somewhere. You know? But we have freedom. Now, it's not the freedom that we should be like every other human being, especially here. Let's just talk about USA. We should have the equal freedom that every other person has in this country. Bottom line, we should have that. It should be automatic. American Indians, I don't even think they should even be paying taxes here in America. The Native Americans, the Native Indians, nah. Out of some of the atrocious things that happened to them, nah, they shouldn't have to pay no taxes no matter where they want to go. That's the way I feel about it. Look at that history, you'll see why I feel that way. They was almost annihilated completely, wiped out just about. Now, that's some wicked stuff, bro. But guess what? We still, Black and brown people, because Native Indians are a part of that, Black and brown. But we still can show love, even to the people who try to annihilate us, try to take us out. We still show love. It's our nature. It's our nature to show love. We're warriors and we're fighters. I said that wrong. We're lovers and we're fighters. I had to think about that, man. It didn't resonate right in my head. We're lovers and we're fighters. You know? That's our natural makeup. That's who we are. We have that warrior mentality when need be. And we have that lover's mentality when need be. You know? It should be 24/7 all the time. So on Valentine's Day, people, family, friends, lovers, haters, whoever you may be, happy Valentine's Day to you too. Right? I've been doing this for some time. If you go back in my history, especially on the YouTube thing, if you go way back, right? When I was driving trucks, which I might have to wind up doing again. Ooh, I hate that. But guess what? I've been talking this stuff ever since then. ever since then, even before social media came up. There go me again. There I go. Yeah. I saw the importance of it. It was extremely important to me to show love to my brothers and sisters and the lovers of my brothers and sisters. I have to always throw that in there because I don't want nobody to just take that little part and be like, oh, you hear what he said? Hear what he said? Huh? He's racist. He racist. No, I'm not. I love anybody. I will love anybody. But you know the ones I don't love? The ones who trying to annihilate, kill me, take me out. I know what word I wanted to say, but it didn't come out right. But I'm trying to just flow with it. Right? Try to take me out. Try to take us out. Try to annihilate. That's the word I was looking for. My dyslexia kicked on me that. They tried to annihilate. There I go again. All right? Trying to wipe us out. All right? Now, how can you successfully love somebody who's trying to hurt you? That takes some real power right there. Man, that takes some real power. But you know what? You may not love them, but you can show love. You can respect another human being. If I was a police officer, for example, I'm gonna just give you this and I'm out. If I was a police officer, for example, and I knew that I had that power behind me to do whatever they do, right? And I run across one of my old enemies from way back when. Right? Now I have this, like one of my old bullies. Let's use that bully, for example. Because you know how I feel about bullies. Oh, I can't stand them, right? Knowing me, my personality, I'm going to show him respect. I ain't got to like him. I don't have to like him. But I'm going to show you I have enough love for you to give you respect and treat you fair. And I could keep saying to myself, yeah, I could have did him dirty. I could have did him dirty, but that's not my nature. And sometimes that goes to some people's heads. And they get too carried away. And then they find themselves in a bad position after they've done some dirt to somebody. They start being this bigger criminal to cover it up. And then they have to continue to lie behind a lie, and so on and so on and so on. Right? This is the thing we want to always steer from. We want to make sure that if you're having those type of ill feelings inside and you feel like you can't control yourself, you have to be grounded enough in the Lord in heaven. God, you got to be grounded enough to say to yourself, you know what, Father, pray about it, man. Be on your guard, though. If you run across one of your enemies and y'all know, y'all ain't really liking each other too much, but you're trying to give them respect and everything, yeah, be on your guard. But don't violate that man in a bad way, or female, whoever the person might be. Just don't go crazy just because you have that little bit of power to do so and possibly get away with it. Even though you get away with it with us, with amongst men, human beings, but overall, God got your ticket. And trust me, he got the receipt of what you've done and waiting for your time to come and answer to those receipts. That's if you believe in God. And if you don't, pray for your soul. That's the way I see it. I'd rather believe than not believe, because at the end, if he's true, at least I believed and I tried to follow. And God, I may not have been perfect, but I tried and I didn't doubt. But just imagine if he didn't exist at all and we get to the end, there's no consequences. But if he does exist, there's a big consequence. So wouldn't it be smarter and safer to just believe while you're here? That's the way I see it. Ain't nobody gonna tell me otherwise. Won't let them. I'm too grounded for that. right? And on that note, happy Valentine's Day to every one of you. Facebook, happy Valentine's Day. See, this is the lover side of me. YouTube, happy Valentine's Day to you too. YouTube, this is the loving side of me. It's built in me, and I ain't trying to fight it. I'm gonna let it be. I'm gonna let it shine. And on that note, should turn my music up, right? I'm about to sign off, y'all. So here, let me see if I can do it the right way. Come on, man. You hear that? No? See if I can turn it up a little more. I ain't got the right speaker hooked up to that though. It's behind there, but it's not hooked up. Yeah. All right, fam. Just as I end off every time I go live or I just put up something, treat people like you want to be treated. And it'll come back round because it has for me. All right, fam? Peace and one love and happy Valentine's Day. Tell somebody you love them today. That's right. Somebody that you know you probably would not have said it to. Say happy Valentine's Day to that individual. God will definitely look at you in a whole different manner. You just got to practice being a better person. All right, fam, I'm about to sign off. One love, go tell somebody happy Valentine's Day today. All right, fam, peace.